too has got its job to do in the human body symphony. Together they join in to play their parts in perfect harmony. They play in perfect harmony in the wondrous human body symphony. The heart pumps the blood with perfection, creating a strong rhythm section. Piping the air in and out is what respiration's about. Your stomach, intestines, and liver. The digestive system you see gives the orchestra its energy. The muscular tone, supported by bones, gives structure and flow wherever you go. And need I explain your fabulous brain? The parts large and small conducts one and all.
Okay, children. Today we are going to learn something about the hormones. I think all of you have heard about the different feelings and emotions that we have, right? All of us are going to feel sometimes happy, sometimes sad, and sometimes we are very aggressive and angry. We feel scared. And sometimes we are so surprised because of the situations. According to the situations, our emotions also changes. Am I right, children? So how does the changes happen in our body? It is the biological process that binds together, that is nothing but through the hormones that are being released in our body. Hormones. We are going to learn something about hormones which are being present in our body and how many hormones are being present. All we are not going to learn. A very few of the hormones we are going to learn today. What is a hormone? It's a chemical transmitter. It is released in small amounts from glands and is transported in the bloodstream to target organs of other cells. Hormones are chemical messengers transferring information and instructions from one set of cells to another. Let's watch a
The functions of the cells in the human body need to be continuously regulated. However, the nerve fibers of the neural system do not innervate all the body's cells. Therefore, the function of regulating the body's cells is performed by the hormones secreted by the endocrine system. The endocrine system, in association with the neural system, functions in a coordinated way to maintain the physiological functions of the body. Both the endocrine and the nervous systems collectively form the neuroendocrine system of the body, and the combined study of these two systems is called neuroendocrinology. Did you know that endocrinology is a branch of medicine dealing with the study of the endocrine glands and the actions of their hormones? Thomas Addison, an English physician and scientist, is popularly known as the father of endocrinology. The human endocrine system consists of various endocrine glands present in different parts of the body.
Okay, children, I think you have learned more about nervous system in Nikita ma'am's assembly, which is being related to the endocrine system, where the hormones are going to be produced according to the gland. Do you know, children, what is a gland? It is an organ which produces and releases substances that perform a specific function in the body. We have many glands in our body. I think you can see in the diagram, in the pictures. The liver is a gland, and we can see the pancreas, and we have adrenal glands. So many glands are there in our body. Let's learn very few in this assembly. A gland is made up of group of cells or tissues. There are two types of gland, that is a gland which secretes its products into a duct or tube is called exocrine gland, and endocrine glands are ductless glands and release the substances that is directly into the bloodstream. The hormones are being released into the bloodstream directly. You're going to learn about the brain in detail in Lakshmi ma'am's assembly. She is going to explain you. Let me tell a very few things about the brain and the nerves, because brain becomes a main function in releasing the hormones which is being located, the glands which are being located inside the brain. The endocrine system is also involved in the information business. Hormones carry essential messages that have far-reaching effects. They control body processes at every level, from energy uptake of a single cell to the whole body's rate of growth and development. Do you know, children, there are 50 of hormones in our body. So which are the body's chemical messengers, and they are made by 12 different endocrine glands. These glands have no ducts, but secrete their hormones directly into the blood, by which means they reach every cell in the body. Hormones affect certain target tissues or organs and regulate their activities. The function of the endocrine system is the production and regulation of chemical substances that are called hormones. The study of endocrine system, already we have learned in the video, we have seen that is nothing but the endocrinology. While many parts of the body make hormones, the major glands that make up the endocrine system are the hypothalamus, pituitary gland, pineal gland, thyroid gland, parathyroid gland, and adrenal gland, the ovaries and testes. So the hypothalamus is small but important area located right above the brain stem. It plays an important role in hormones production and helps to stimulate many important processes in the body, and is located in the brain between the pituitary gland and thalamus. Hypothalamus controls the release of hormones, the body temperature, intake of food and water, and stress-related hormones. Hypothalamus collects information from virtually all other areas of the central nervous system. And in response, it releases hormones that tell the pituitary gland which hormones to send out to other glands. So this becomes a main gland in the brain which is going to give information to the pituitary gland. Okay, to improve the hormone, means to maintain the hormones that is being released by the hypothalamus, we need to follow some foods that should be intaken. Foods with high omega-3 content include fish, walnuts, flax seeds, and leafy vegetables. Additional healthy dietary choices to support the hypothalamus and best brain function include vitamin-rich fruits and vegetables. Vitamin C helps a lot in this particular hormones. Okay, what are the complications of hypothalamus disorders? What happens if hypothalamus is not releasing the hormones properly? We'll be having heart problems, high cholesterol, growth problems, and weight problems. Next, we'll go to the next gland, that is a very important gland, that is a pituitary gland. This is your endocrine system master gland. It uses information it gets from your brain to tell other glands in your body what to do. It makes many important hormones. Pituitary gland is a round organ about the pea size of nearly 1 centimeter in diameter, located behind the bridge of the nose at the base of the brain. So which is also, we call it as a master gland. The pituitary is the most influential gland in the endocrine system. It is actually two distinct glands in one. Its front or anterior lobe manufactures 7 major hormones and releases them into the bloodstream. Behind it is the posterior, that is a back lobe, which receives its 2 main hormones from the hypothalamus, which lies above it, and then it releases 3 hormones. The pituitary gland secretes different hormones which affect many different areas of the body, including the growth, blood pressure, thyroid gland function, water regulation in the body, that is through the kidneys, and temperature regulation. What food should be taken to maintain these hormones? It's a kind of ionic that such a small gland, approximately the size of a pea, is primarily responsible for regulating growth in living organisms. So it is a small but mighty engine runs primarily on vitamins D and E, which means your basic group of high protein meats, fish, eggs, and nuts. So next is the pineal gland. The pineal gland is a small and a pine cone shaped gland, which is how it got its name, located at the back of the diencephalon region in the brain. You'll be learning in the brain, children, about the diencephalon also. At night, in the absence of light, the pineal gland secretes the hormones called melatonin. Melatonin regulates the body's sleep patterns in both circadian, that is daily, and seasonal patterns. In the morning, when light hits the eye, photoreceptors in the retina send signals to the pineal gland, which then decreases melatonin production and we wake up. So for sleeping and waking up, this gland is going to help in our body, that is the pineal gland. So diseases, what happens if this is not functioning properly? We are going to have insomnia, that is results from melatonin deficiency, and hypotension, which is going to result from the melatonin overproduction. Seasonal affective disorders results from melatonin overproduction. So how can we make our pineal gland healthy? This includes flossing daily and brushing your teeth at least twice a day. The ADA does recommended brushing with a toothpaste that contains fluoride, eating fresh, organic and unprocessed food while you're trying to decalcifying your pineal gland is also a good move for your overall health. Next is a thyroid gland. The thyroid gland sits in the throat region just below the larynx. The thyroid is a butterfly-shaped gland served by the large arteries with many branches and a dense network of capillaries. It controls the metabolic activity of all cells. We also have a parathyroid gland just behind that. These four small glands are located behind the thyroid like spots on a butterfly wings. They monitor and regulate calcium levels in your body. The hormones it secretes travel in the bloodstream throughout the body to increase metabolism, regulate glucose use, protein synthesis, nervous system development. It also releases calcitonin, which helps to maintain blood calcium homeostasis by causing calcium to be removed from the blood and deposited into the bones when blood, that is when the calcium is lagging too high or it is being too high in your blood. Okay, your thyroid typically makes hormones that make your body functioning normally. That is a normal means you'll be healthy when the thyroid is functioning properly. But when the thyroid makes too much thyroid hormones, your body uses energy too quickly. This is called hyperthyroidism. Using energy too quickly will do more than that make you tired. It can make your heart beat faster, cause you to lose weight without trying and even make you feel nervous. On the flip side of this, your thyroid can make too little thyroid hormone, which is called the hypothyroidism. When you have this hypothyroidism, you are going to suffer. It can make you feel tired. It makes you to gain weight, and you may even be unable to tolerate cold temperatures. So these two main disorders can be caused by a variety of conditions. They can also be passed down through families, that is inherited, which is being inherited by the parents or grandparents. Thyroid disease can affect anyone. It might be men, women, infants, teenagers, and the elderly persons. It can be present at birth also, typically hypothyroidism, and it can develop as you age. Thyroid disease is very common. Within an estimate 20 million people in the United States having some type of thyroid disorders. Okay, what should we do to maintain our thyroid glands to secrete the hormones in a proper way? We need to take the food which is rich in iodine. is an element that requires for the thyroid gland to produce thyroid hormones. So since the body does not produce iodine on its own, it needs to come from dietary sources. And striking the right balance is the key. The importance of iodine: when you consume iodine, it is quickly absorbed and entered into your bloodstream. Your thyroid, which has tiny cells that capture the circulating iodine, takes in and oxidizes it so it can begin to be used to create T3 and T4 thyroid hormones that make their way throughout the body to regulate metabolism and ensure healthy functioning of the heart, brain, and other organs. Next, we'll go with the adrenal gland. The adrenal glands are the pyramid-shaped glands that sit at the top of each kidney. I think you can see in the picture. Each adrenal gland consists of two structures: an outer adrenal cortex and inner adrenal medulla. The adrenal cortex is a network of fine connective tissue that makes up most of the gland. It secretes a range of steroid hormones, cortisol, which manages protein and glucose levels, aldosterone, which adjusts our levels of water and salt, and it is going to release a hormone called adrenaline in our body. With adrenaline insufficiency, means if the adrenal gland is not producing the hormones in a proper way, the inability to increase cortisol production with stress can lead to an Addisonian crisis. Means different emotions that we are going to have, that is aggressive we are going to become, and we are going to become so tense because this is going to release the different emotional hormones. So an Addisonian crisis is a life-threatening situation that results in low blood pressure, low blood levels of sugar, and high blood levels of potassium. You will need immediate medical care if you are suffering with this particular disease. What should we do to maintain the adrenal health? We need to take sufficient vitamin C, E, and all the vitamin Bs. Means we have different categories under vitamin Bs. We need to take all that. Magnesium as well as calcium and trace minerals also need to be taken to maintain the health of adrenal gland. Okay. So these minerals can reduce the stress of adrenal fatigue, which help decrease unnecessary cortisol production. Last, we are going to learn about the pancreas, which are a dual purpose gland. It is also a part of the digestive system. It excretes pancreatic juice into the small intestine via the pancreatic duct. Scattered within the pancreas, there are also tiny cell clusters called pancreatic islets, which are also called the islets of Langerhans, that release the hormones into the bloodstream. These islets make up less than 2% of pancreatic tissue, but their specialized cells regulate blood glucose levels, or we can also say that as blood sugar levels. When blood sugar is low, alpha cells in the islets release glucagon. Glucagon spurs the liver to break down glycogen and release more glucose into the blood. When blood sugar is high, beta cells in the islets release insulin, which increases glucose reuptake. What is the most common pancreatic endocrine disorder? I think all of you know, most of the people are being suffering with this. That is nothing but the diabetes. Diabetes mellitus is, 1 minute, is the most common endocrine disorder and occurs when the pancreas either does not produce sufficient insulin or the body cannot use the available insulin. Symptoms of both type 1 and type 2 diabetes include excessive thirst or hunger. Okay, to maintain our diabetes, that is blood sugar levels in the body, we need to take some foods. To get your pancreas healthy, focus on foods that are rich in protein, low in animal fats, and contain antioxidants. Try lean meats, beans, and lentils. clear soups and dairy alternatives such as flax milk and almond milk, your pancreas won't have to work as hard to process these. The last one, that is tips to keep your hormones balanced. We need to have a sufficient antioxidant rich diet in our daily diet. Drink adequate water. Be stress free. Get a good sleep. That is, you need to sleep at early sleep and early rise is good for your health. Exercise regularly. Let's watch a short video on this.
Hormones are chemicals produced by various glands. Hormones act as messengers affecting the activity of another part of the body. Such messengers are normally transported through the bloodstream. The pituitary is a pea-sized gland that controls the function of most other glands and secretes a variety of hormones, such as growth hormone and thyroid-stimulating hormone. The pituitary itself is controlled by a small brain region called the hypothalamus. Growth hormone regulates bone and muscle growth and physical development. The thyroid is a gland in the neck. It secretes thyroid hormones, which control the speed of the body's chemical functions or metabolism. Thyroid hormones affect many vital functions, such as heart rate. Another gland, the pancreas, helps control the levels of glucose in the blood by secreting insulin, which moves glucose out of the blood and into cells. Diabetes occurs when the body does not produce enough insulin to control blood sugar levels. There are 2 adrenal glands, one on top of each kidney. The adrenals secrete several hormones, such as epinephrine, aldosterone, and cortisol. These hormones help control heart rate and blood pressure, maintain fluid and mineral balance in the body, and respond to stress and infection.
Thank you, children. Thank you. Have a great day.